Listen carefully, because this story is getting deeper and more serious as the hours go by. What we are seeing right now is a situation that is touching law, politics, and public emotion all at the same time. And you need to understand every part of it so you don't miss what is really going on. The issue around Nnamdi Kanu has taken another turn, and right now there is strong attention again on his case, especially with new developments being connected to international bodies and legal voices inside Nigeria. This is not just a small update, this is something that is beginning to shift conversations again across the country. As it stands, Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention following his conviction on serious charges, and this case has been one of the most discussed matters in Nigeria for years now. Many people have followed it from the beginning, from his first arrest to his return to Nigeria, to all the court proceedings that followed. But now, the pressure around his situation is rising again. And when pressure like this starts building, it usually means something is happening behind the scenes. So stay with me very well, because I'm going to break everything down for you in a way you will understand clearly. And before I go deeper, quickly like this video and subscribe to this channel, because I will keep bringing you real updates like this without confusion. Now, what is making this situation more intense right now is the involvement of strong voices, especially legal and activist figures who are beginning to move again around this case. One of those names coming up again is Deji Adeyanju. This is someone who has always been active when it comes to human rights and legal advocacy in Nigeria. Whenever there is a sensitive issue like this and his name shows up, people pay attention. Right now, there are reports linking his movements to the northern part of Nigeria, specifically Sokoto, and that alone has raised many questions. Because when a known activist starts moving in connection with a case like this, it tells you that something is happening, even if everything is not yet fully in the open. And this is where the story starts getting more interesting. Because at the same time, there is increasing mention of international attention being drawn to the case. Now, let's understand this part very well. When a case moves beyond Nigeria and starts getting attention from international bodies, it changes the weight of that case. It is no longer just local discussion. It becomes something that can affect how the country is seen globally. And that is where the African Union comes into the conversation. Now, what is important for you to understand is this. International bodies can raise concerns, they can make recommendations, and they can push for certain actions, especially when human rights are involved. And right now, there are growing calls and attention pointing towards Nnamdi Kanu's situation from that angle. This is what is fueling the current wave of discussion. But listen carefully. There is a difference between pressure and final decision. And that difference is very important. Because no matter the level of attention coming from outside, Nigeria still controls its internal legal decisions. So what we are seeing now is a situation where multiple forces are meeting at the same point. Legal process, public opinion, international attention, and political sensitivity, all coming together around one case. That is why this matter is not going away anytime soon. Now let's talk about the reaction across the country, because this is where it gets even more real. Some people strongly believe that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, saying that the process surrounding his arrest and return raised serious questions. Others believe that the law has already taken its course and that the judgment should stand. So you can see clearly, this is not a one-sided issue. It is divided. And anything that divides opinion like this will always stay in the spotlight. Now, another important thing you need to notice is how quickly attention has returned to this case again. That does not happen by accident. It usually means there are movements happening quietly. It could be legal efforts. It could be negotiations. It could be discussions that are not yet public. But something is definitely happening to bring the case back into focus like this. And when that happens, smart viewers don't just react, they observe carefully. So ask yourself this question. Why now? Why is this case gaining strong attention again at this moment? Because timing in situations like this is never random. There is always a reason. Now let me slow it down a bit so everybody can follow clearly. Right now, Nnamdi Kanu remains in detention. There is no confirmed final change to that status yet, but there is increasing attention. There are movements from legal and activist sides, and there is growing international awareness Those three things together can influence what happens next. But they do not automatically mean immediate change. And this is where many people get it wrong. So stay calm, stay informed, and don't jump to conclusions. And if you are following this gist, make sure you like this video right now and subscribe, because I will keep breaking everything down step by step for you. Now let's look at Sokoto again, because that part is very important. When any activity connected to a sensitive national case happens in a place like Sokoto, it carries weight. It is not just about location. It is about symbolism, influence, and attention. So any connection between that movement and this case is enough to raise questions. And questions are what keep a story alive. Now think about this. If pressure continues to build from both inside and outside the country, what are the possible outcomes? That is where things start getting serious. Because there are only a few directions this can go. 1. The current position remains unchanged and the legal process continues as it is. 2. There could be legal reviews or fresh considerations based on new arguments or pressure. 3. There could be a broader political or diplomatic angle that begins to shape decisions quietly. Now, I'm not saying which one will happen, but these are the possibilities when a case reaches this level of attention, and this is why everybody is watching closely, because the next move can change everything. Now, let me ask you something directly. Do you think this situation will lead to a major change? Or do you believe things will remain the same? Drop your opinion in the comment section. I really want to hear what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Very important. Now, as we continue, there is something many people are not paying attention to. And that is how this situation affects Nigeria's image. Because once international attention increases on a case like this, it becomes part of global discussion. And that can influence how the country is viewed in terms of law, justice, and human rights. So this is no longer just a local issue. It is something that can stretch beyond borders. And that is why every move matters now. Every statement matters. Every action matters. Now let me bring it back again so nobody misses the main point. Nnamdi Kanu's case is active. Attention is rising again. Legal and activist movements are increasing. International awareness is growing. But no final change has been confirmed yet. That is the exact situation right now. Simple and clear. And that is how you should understand it.